So guys, this is one of those ones about just paying attention and trying to make the most use of everything. Behind me is one of our pastures, and you can see I threw a couple logs across there now. Those logs are actually to help because this is all at a downhill slant, so to prevent erosion, so things can build up in front of those. And I'm actually going to put in some stuff more permanently in the future. But as you can see, monster truck behind me, what we're doing is all this topsoil got trapped by the gate. So I actually took the gate off the hinges right now, backed it up over there, and what we've got is just a variety of pretty much topsoil and then some of the winter stuff we planted. So you can see a couple Austrian winter peas here sprouting out of it, and then some of the winter rye too. And this stuff is almost like 5 or 6 inches deep in some parts. This is all the topsoil from my field. So what I'm actually going to do is bring this back down to the level. That's why my boy's shoveling right now. We're going to collect all this topsoil, and then we're going to go put it up in our raised beds because we don't want it to be wasted. I don't want it just to keep washing down. It got stopped by the gate, but now that it's here, we can use it. I got to watch out because there may be some Bermuda grass and other stuff on this side, so I got to be careful with what I actually grab up. But the topsoil, the Austrian winter peas, and the winter rye, it all makes sense to actually have. So we're going to see how much this we can get and build up some of our gardens with it. So if you look behind me, guys, we barely made a dent, but we've actually got 15 5-gallon buckets full of topsoil. Now, this did come from our pasture. It'd be nice to have it in the pasture, but it rolled down once, it'll probably roll down again. And right now I'm more concerned about getting my garden where it needs to be. A lot of the stuff sprouting up in that field right now is some of those legumes, the Austrian winter peas and stuff, and that's also some of the winter rye. So they're going to be holding whatever soil we've got still in place. I let the animals eat it down aggressively this year because I want to be replacing it with some sainfoin, some alfalfa, and some different stuff that have a hard time competing with the existing wild grasses that were growing there. So looking forward to building that up here this next year, just getting some things going, also adding some things like mullein, daikon radish, stuff that's going to have a nice deep taproot and start working down into the soil and then also drawing nutrients up. So we're going to take this to the garden right now and start building up some more raised beds. Guys, as you can see behind me, I got a couple of my longer rows. The one had some eggplants and baby fat artichoke cucumbers, some peppers, some loofah gourds and stuff in it. And then the closer one was where I grew my hominy this last year. So I added some of the mulch I picked up for free the other day, but that's a very high wood chip mulch. It's compost, but it's just their old, pretty much wood chip mulch. So I wanted to add something else to it before I covered it and got it prepared like some of these. Now, with the amount of legumes growing in here, with the Austrian winter peas, and the amount of grains growing in here with the, here's one of the little Austrian winter peas, and then here's a clump of the winter rye. These may still grow. They've got some roots on them as I dump them in. They may still sprout through, and if they do, that's perfectly fine. I got a bed behind me where I just did some of that stuff. And if not, it's just adding more organic material down to our soil. So definitely trying to get the richest, most, nutrient rich and minerals and vitamins and everything that the plants need to grow. So that way it's healthier, richer food. When we eat it, we get more benefit from it. We're not going to poison ourselves, as is the custom of some people these days. But just going to add these buckets here, and then I also got where I want to be growing some extra yarrow, so I'm going to get some more buckets of this and make just a permanent bed for some different herbs that I definitely want to have around and on hand as well. So we're going to get to dumping this and spread it out, and just one way of, like, you know, all that runoff could easily head down, you know, with the next rain, head further, wind up in the stream, head down to the lake, and just kind of slowly fill in the lake with sediment. But it's good, and I want to keep it on my property, so we're going to use it here. And like I said, once the garden's built up in the way that we want it, if I was producing more compost, more rabbit manure, it's a limited amount that I'm producing. Therefore, to get 15 buckets now and to be able to head back and probably get at least another 10 in a little bit is going to be excellent. And eventually then we'll work on building up the pastures too. But first and foremost, we're taking care of the garden and getting it growing and going the way that we need to. All right, guys, pop out. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.